Welcome to Tiger Talk. Stan Stevens, Coach Tony Edwards, Coach the Salem Tigers. Bats have gone a little bit silent. Mountain Grove shuts you down. And, of course, you've been facing some of the better pitchers. And this time of year, they're getting primed for districts, but so are the Salem Tigers, aren't they?
Yeah, like you said, we've seen some really good pitching the last few games. And, it's kind of unfortunate that we weren't able to to kind of rattle the sticks a little bit against that solid pitching. But, the positive we can take from that is, anytime you see a kid throwing in the mid to upper 80s or even, possibly a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, that's something you're always looking for going into districts is, extremely good pitching and you want your players at their best at the right time. So, hopefully we can, we can have a good performance Saturday against Cuba in the district game. And, hopefully the bats will wake up a little bit and our pitching will continue to be solid as well as our defense. So, pretty excited about the opportunity, and I know the players are too.
Coach, I know we had a game originally scheduled with Union. There was some scheduling conflicts there, which took away another game that you're going to be able to play before districts. Do you feel that that's hurting you at this stage, or did you think the kids needed a rest after the tournament?
Well, there's pros and cons to it. I mean, anytime you get an opportunity to play a baseball game, you definitely want to try to do that, especially against a good Union team where you're probably going to see some good hitters and good pitching. But then again, too, we take the other side of that, and that gives us an opportunity as coaches to have a good solid practice. Work on our fundamentals, things that we need to address, things that we need to fix. And, I thought we did that the other day, Tuesday in practice where, we worked on a lot of defensive stuff, a lot of first and third situations and bunting and things of that sort. So, yeah, it's, you always want to play a game because, there's nothing like, playing a baseball game. But for the coach's standpoint, it allowed us to work on our skills. So, but, yeah, it is what it is, and we're just kind of focused right now on getting ready for Saturday versus Cuba.
And I think people might be shocked to hear you say that, get a chance to work on your skills. But actually, during the baseball season in high school, once the games get started, you have very little time to actually work with the kids. If you see something on the field, you try and address it as quickly as you can. But, you don't have a lot of time to work on it because you're playing 3, maybe 4 games a week, Coach. And when you get a chance to actually go back through the things that you see that maybe we weren't as good on that as we should have been, it does give you that opportunity to actually sit there and be repetitive in something and get it into the kids' heads so they know exactly what to do next time.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we've done. We've had practice Tuesday, we had practice Wednesday, and we're practicing it today. So and that's given us three solid days of working on, like I said, first and third situations, team defense on, if we have a guy out first, we're up by 2 runs, how do we get out of the inning? So, yeah, we're working on all the little things that we didn't get to really try to pinpoint throughout the middle of the season. Anytime you can do that, I think it's just going to kind of sharpen our skills a little bit. Hopefully we'll be ready to play.
Well, you're not going to see a stranger team. You're going to know this team pretty well. You played them twice in the last 10 days, and so here you're going to be playing them again, the Cuba Wildcats. And, Coach, we go to Owensville. We know there's an infield there that is nothing but AstroTurf, and an outfield out there it's nothing but probably going to be grass and somewhat on the wet side because of all the rain we've been getting here lately. But this is an opportunity, Coach, and we've done this before. We go into the district play, and all of a sudden the Tigers get good pitching, you get some good fielding, and you can turn a 3-game series around in a heartbeat, can't you?
Yeah, and that's hopefully the plan. I've been talking to my players, ever since Monday's game that, the regular season's over with. We've got a new season to look at, and it's just 1-game season at a time. And you're winning every game, and that's your mental standpoint of it, until you lose. So. Yeah, it's one of those situations where, Cuba's, we've seen them twice, like you said, and, they got the best of us one time, and then we turned around and got the best of them in our tournament. So we're a pretty evenly matched team. They got kids that can hit up down the lineup a little bit, and good pitching, and so do we. So I expect a good ball game. Hopefully we can, like you said, keep the pitching where it has been all season for us, and our defense continues to grow, and hopefully our bats will allow us to shake some runs a little bit so we can try to squeak a win against Cuba.
All right, Coach, the best of luck today in district play against the Cuba Wildcats. Good luck, Coach.
All right, Sam, appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Stay tuned. Tiger Baseball, District Baseball. It is next.
That has been Tiger Talk with Salem head baseball coach Tony Edwards. And now, Salem Tiger Baseball on KSMO and KSMO Media.
Have you seen Town Screen yet? It's one of the most affordable ways to get your message out in the community. With strategically placed vertical screens in numerous locations in Salem, check it out at Advanced Chiropractic, Jet Tires and Auto, Salem Bowling Center, and Terrell's Complete Auto Care, just to name a few. Find out more about how you can use Town Screen for everything local. Stop by 800 South Main or call 636-338-1199. Hometown created and maintained. Town Screen in Salem. Out of town and want to know what's going on in Salem, how the Salem Tigers did, or who may have passed away? There's only one way to get that information quickly, and that's by going to Your World Today online. Go to KSMORadio.com and click on the Your World Today button, and you'll get the latest edition online, or check out the Your World Today archives. And if you are in town, pick one up in any of the 30-plus locations in Salem and Bunker. Your World Today, they're free.
You're listening to Salem Tiger Baseball on KSMO AM 1340 and 95.7 and streaming on KSMORadio.com and our KSMO stream page on Facebook. Brought to you as a courtesy of K&H Auto Supply, Town and Country Bank, Salem Memorial Hospital, Salem Memorial Clinic, Farm Bureau Insurance, Country Mart, the Bank of Salem, Napa Mooney Auto Supply, Your World Today, Progressive Ozark Bank, Town Screen LLC, City of Salem, Town and Country Insurance, Taxmasters, Southwest Baptist University Salem Campus, Terrell Complete Auto Care, Edward Jones, Duncan Family Chiropractic, Jadwin and Smith Auto Body, State Farm Insurance, Stephen Patterson, Attorney at Law, Salem Trust, Cuddy's Well Service and Plumbing LLC, Enrichment Services, Dent County Vet Clinic, Aligned by Design Chiropractic, and Hometown Mechanical.
Welcome to Owensville. Stan Stevens along with the KSMO media team as the Tigers take on the Wildcats as we get underway here with district play. They started just a smidge early, so we missed Traylon Richter flying out to right field, but Cade Moody stands in. He's facing Joel Sanders on the mound for the Wildcats. The pitch comes in, a fastball on the outside corner. Evens that count of 1-1. We'll go over the lineups here as we go through. Doing the catching, Nathan Fay for the Cuba Wildcats. And we'll get to the infield right after this pitch from Joel Sanders to Cade Moody. It comes in. That's on the inside corner for a strike. At first base is Levi Gibson. At third base, Levi Jones. At second base, it is Isaac Duarte. And at shortstop, it's Hendricks. And a strikeout of Caden Moody. Sanders came right in, blew that one right by him, and it's quickly 2 down for the Tigers. Caden DuBois will stand in. In the outfield for the Wildcats, Ryan Doyle in right, Evan Hiley in left, and Parker Stewart down the middle in center. DuBois takes it inside on the pitch by Joel Sanders. Sanders, right-hander. Gets the sign. He's ready to pitch to DuBois. That's on the outside corner for a strike. Good fastball right there taken. Tigers saw Sanders for 2/10 of an inning back in game in Salem. But Hendricks did most of the pitching that day for Cuba. So seeing some different arms. Pitch comes home. There's foul straight back by DuBois. 2-2, 2 down. Top of the first inning just underway here. Class 4, District 4 baseball action. We'll go over the Salem lineup as we get through. As Joel Sanders, the sign from Fay, brings it up and in right over the head of DuBois. Caden is at the plate now. Owen Hamilton to follow him on. Then Cash Howard, Colby Ball, Hayden Sanders, Bronson Crocco do the pitching today, and Roy Stevens. Pitch comes home, a curve swing and a miss. A little something off, and DuBois swings at one up in his eyes. He doesn't catch up, and the Tigers are down in order in the top of the first inning. 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the first.
Salem nothing. Cuba coming to bat. We'll be back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Hello, my name is Amber Hogan. I'm the new family nurse practitioner at SMDH Family Medicine. If your family is in need of a medical provider, I'm accepting new patients of all ages. Please call 729-8000 to set up an appointment. Our clinic is located at Physicians Office Building 3 on the SMDH campus. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and all private and other insurance. Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
Hi, I'm Andrew Wynn. Town & Country Bank makes it easy with the best rates and terms on land and mortgage loans. Hit the trail, make a splash, or enjoy a beautiful sunset. Town & Country Bank can help you finance that beautiful acreage you've always wanted. Stop by today and let us help you take the first step to home ownership. Town & Country Bank. Smart, friendly solutions. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 899641.
We are at the bottom of the first inning. Salem went down in order 1, 2, 3 as we are here at Cuba. Artificial turf on the infield. It's regular grass in the outfield. Field's in outstanding condition. We have a breeze blowing directly into center, from center to home plate. So any ball up in the air is going to have to fight the wind, which is not drastic today, but it is about 8 to 10 miles an hour out of the southwest. So it is a little bit of a hindrance, but if somebody really gets a hold of one, I guess they could possibly drive it out of here. Salem Tigers did win here over Owensville in their last visit to this field as they hit a lot of gap shots. But this is a different team. It's a different time. It's district baseball. Cuba Wildcats will send up Levi Kipson to lead things off, followed by Brock Hendricks. There we go. And Joel Sanders. Here in the first inning, if anybody gets on, Riley Bouse, their DH, will bat, followed by Levi Jones, Nathan Fay, Parker Stewart, Evan Hiley, and Ryan Doyle. First pitch is up the middle, off the glove of Crocker. Bronson gets to it, throws to first just in time. Close play. Ball came back to Crocker, went off the edge of his glove. He got it back and threw out Gibson by about a half a step. 1-3 on the put out, and Brock Hendricks will stand in. Hendricks wears number 7. These Cuba Wildcats beat Salem at Salem 13-1 in the regular season. In the tournament, Salem came back, shut them off 5-0. Crocker brings that one in, a foul off the netting. No screens here at Owensville. They have the big poles with the netting. As Crocker gets ready, pitch comes in, an off-speed pitch, dandy one on the outside corner. Bronson took a little extra off that one. Seemed like it took forever to get to the plate. When it did, it crosses the plate. There's another one, a swing and a miss. Hendricks way out in front. First strikeout for Bronson Crocker. He has really done a nice job with that off-speed pitch. Joel Sanders, their pitcher, will stand in. Last game we played, Sanders is playing more shortstop today. He's on the hill. Open stance, right-handed batter. Fouls it straight back. Got jammed on that fastball, looking for some out over the plate. You win, you go on. You lose, you go home. District ball. Absolutely fantastic day right now for baseball. The 0-1 comes home. That off-speed pitch just missed outside. Hayden holds it there, but not going to get the call. That one just missed. 1-1, 2 down. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Tigers straight away for this hitter. The pitch, that's ball for a strike. What Bronson does the best is keep hitters off guard. He just keeps them on their heels, mixing his pitches up very well. Here's the next one comes home. Fastball fouled off to the right side on the outside edge. Now has Sanders set up for that off-speed pitch, and he varies the speed on that curveball that he has. More of a slider type of curveball where it drifts across the plate. The pitch comes home, it's off-speed pitch, and he waited on that one, did Sanders, and drills it in the left field for a base hit. That ball was up, and Joel waited for it. He guessed right. And he lines that one in the left center, and Riley Bouse will stand in. Riley, right-handed batter. And Sanders will be pinch run for here. Coming out to do the running is Nick Smith. Bouse, right-handed batter. Had some success against Salem at Salem. Facing Crocker, working from the stretch. Pitch comes in. That's a strike on the outside corner. Again, artificial field, which means the pitching mound is not a permanent mound. It's based upon basically a wood base covered in AstroTurf. Pitch outside, knocked down by Sanders. Good play keeping Smith at first base. So that can be a little different for some pitchers pitching there. You can't dig in like you do on a regular field. They try and make it that way, but it's virtually impossible. There's a fastball in the outside corner. Quickly 1-2. Bouse, I don't think, liked the call. Moody center field, shallow for this big hitter. As the 1-2 comes home, a swing and a foul just off the edge of the glove. Sanders could not hang on. Got a piece of it, just couldn't corral it. With the AstroTurf infield, most people play back. Trying to bunt the ball on this. Hard to deaden the ball, but play too deep, you can still hit a real short chopper. Curveball outside and a runner going. Sanders dove out there to keep the pitch from going back to the screen, but Smith had that ball stolen easily on the curve. So now runner in scoring position for Riley Bouse. And the 2-2 comes home. There's a ground ball towards second. A lot of time for Roy Stevens, who throws him out. Bouse out 4-3 on the putout, and the Cuba Wildcats are down here in the first inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, one left. We played one. Salem nothing, Cuba nothing. Back in 1 minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
At Country Mart in Salem, you'll find gluten-free, organic, and diabetic products. They also have fresh produce, quality meats, a bakery, and a full-service deli that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Have you joined the Country Mart e-Club yet? You'll receive exclusive offers, weekly specials, and special sale items through your email. It's free to join, and for more information about the e-Club, go to www.tcmarkets.com. It's just another service from Country Mart in Salem.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
Check out these truck and towing specials at K&H Auto Supply. Save $25 on select custom hitches. A Reese Universal Heavy-Duty Coupler Lock is only $39.99. And a Reese Towing Security Kit with 2-inch ball is $45.99. K&H Auto Supply is your Parts City Auto Parts store in Salem.
Parts City. Yeah, Parts City. Parts City.
Joel Sanders back to the hill. We're in the second inning at Owensville, Cuba and Salem. Cuba in the white jerseys, white pants, the gold sleeves, and the underlining under the armpits down to the hip. And they have the black and gold numbers. The Tigers in their gray pants. They have their Carolina blue base jersey with the navy blue caps, shoulder caps, and sleeves. Owen Hamilton at the plate, stands in, fouls it down the right side. Hamilton playing first base today, batting in the cleanup spot. Nothing shaking. They do play Hamilton to go to right field. The pitch comes in, a pop fly that way. Owen is an up-the-middle kind of guy. But they give him a bunch of room in left center and play him very shallow in left. Owen's got some pop, but they're not playing him very deep at all here for Cuba. Sanders will 0-2 count to Owen Hamilton. Here it comes. Check swing. Ball outside. Tried a slider. That one stayed on the outside edge. Owen checked that swing. Cash Howard's on deck for Salem. We're in the second inning. No score. Pitch. Check swing. He went around that time on a high fastball. Third strikeout for Sanders, and Howard will stand in. Cash has really come on here in the end of the year. He started out struggling, but he has done a really good job, and right now stands in with a .290 batting average. But it was really low to begin the season, and he has really come on strong. Pitch coming to Cash. Outside corner for a strike. Cash started going the other way with the ball and really started plugging that left center field gap. Let's hope he can do that again. They give him that gap, as a matter of fact, right now. The 0-1 comes in, a foul, trying to go that way. Cade Moody, the leading hitter for Salem Tigers, coming in at .333. Howard waits. Pitch comes home. Swing and a miss. High fastball got him. And Sanders, right at the eye level, blows that one by Cash Howard, and Corby Ball will stand in. Corby with a new haircut. Doesn't even look the same. He's gotten trimmed up, getting a little hot out there for that longer hair. From the right side, takes a fastball inside for ball one. Corby's been coming on the bat a little bit. Start again. A lot of the Tigers started the season out very cold. It's taken them a long time to get going. And finally, some of those bats started coming around here in the last 3 weeks. Corby, one of those guys, 2-0. Batting just 180 coming in, but again, that's a lot better than his early season average. That ball low and outside, ball three, trying to off-speed pitch. Hayden Sanders is on deck. The wind, the pitch comes home. That fastball's inside, a walk with two down. First Tiger base runner, and Sanders will stand in. Hayden with a 167 average. Had some big hits for the Tigers. Just can't keep him consistently hitting the ball he's got. 10 hits for Salem. And 7 RBIs on the year. Hayden gets back in from the right side. He's got some pop in that bat, and they play him very shallow in the outfield. Matter of fact, last time here he put one off the fence. The pitch, that's a fastball for a strike. Out in left center field. That was against Owensville. But the potential is there. 300 feet fences down the left field line, 350 to dead center, 315 down the right field line. There's a ground ball in the hole. That's a base hit. Ball will make the turn, but hold there at second base as Sanders grounds that one through. A base hit, the first hit of the game for the Salem Tigers, and Bronson Crocker will stand in. Runners at first and second, 2 down. Joel Sanders has 4 strikeouts in the game and struck out 4 in a row before a walking ball and then the base hit by Sanders. Give a lot of room on that right side for Crocker. There's a man at second base, and the ground ball's right toward the shortstop. They have it. The throw to first base is in time to retire the side. 6-3 on the putout for Crocker. As Barrett had come in to run for Sanders, he got down to second base pretty quick, and I think it made the shortstop think to go across the diamond, which he did do, getting Bronson Crocker in time. No runs, a hit, a walk to left. We've now played an inning and a half. We go to the bottom of the second inning. There's no score. Back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events. Make sure you have the right policy for each of life's wins.
A life event could qualify you for a discount. Call me, Willie Strader, your Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance agent, and we will make sure you have the coverage you need.
Say goodbye to wasting your hard-earned money and traveling long distances to get your MRI. This is Bobby Solons, Radiology Director at Salem Memorial District Hospital. The hospital now has the newest technology in-house 5 days a week, and it's open bore, meaning you have ample room to get comfortable during your exam. If you have any questions, just give me a call at 729-6626. The Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
You know, the score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of the players, the coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. And next time you attend a high school game, think of how history is going to remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. And remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop some better citizens for our communities for tomorrow. This message brought to you as a courtesy of your friends at KSMO and Missouri State High School Activities Association. To the bottom of the second inning we go. It will be Levi Jones to lead things off. Their pitch from Crocker is a strike call on the outside corner. Nathan Fay, and Parker Stewart will come in. Following Levi Jones. 0-1 count, pitch, swing and a miss. Tigers straight away for this hitter, not very deep. As I mentioned, dimensions to the outfield, a fair field to play in for high school. As I mentioned, 315 down the right field line and just 300 down the left field line because there's a creek down there. Pitch, just missed on the outside corner. Hayden Sanders tried to frame it, didn't get the call, and then 350 to dead center. Reachable, but on a day where the wind's kind of blowing in from left center, probably not going to have many home runs, if any. Here's a curveball, strike three call. Boy, that ball just never got to home plate. When it did, Jones had already given up. He's called out on strike. Second strikeout for Crocker. Boy, he has really mastered the curveball speeds this year. Not only slow curve, but then a hard curve, and he has a medium curve. So it's hard to determine which speed you're getting. Fay takes over and fouls it into the netting back here. I almost said screen, but it's actually netting. Nice complex here at Owensville. They've done a great job. Used to play at the old Lions Park in Owensville. I always liked that field. It's quaint, cool park, old city park, and definitely was a lot of fun with the big covered bleachers and very short right field line, and then the ball over the left field fence goes down the hill all the way to the base of the park. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, for years and years we played there, and this is a nice facility. Doesn't have that antiqueness of that old field, though. But it's a great field to play on. 2-1 to count. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss. A high fastball to Nathan Fay. He's doing the catching today for the Wildcats. We're in Owensville. Stan Stevens and the KSMO media team here. There's a grounder up the middle. Big chop, and Stevens gets to it. He's going to have to throw in a hurry. It took too long. Roy did not charge that ball. He needed to get off the backside of the AstroTurf. He knew he was going to get a true hop, but he had to play it on the long hop, and that's what did him in. He was going to have to kind of charge that one to get the speed of Fay, and he was going to have to short hop it. He did not, and that allowed the runner to get the base hit on the infield. That would have been the only chance that Stevens would have had to throw him out. Parker Stewart waits and takes ball one. Advantage is the AstroTurf going to get a true hop. The disadvantage is, though, the ball bounces high, and you're sometimes going to get spin, and you have to make a decision to try and short hop it or long hop it. A swing and a miss on a dancing fastball inside. That ball kept coming in on Stewart. Could not hold back. Made that commitment. The ball just kept coming in on his hands. The pitch, runner going inside, and Sanders can't get a grip on it. And the throw down is too late. Fay steals the bag. Hayden trying to transfer it, couldn't get the grip on it, made a great throw, but it was, unfortunately, with that split-second hesitation, you secede the bag because there's just no way with that split second that you can get him back. Parker Stewart waits. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Almost looked like a straight change by Crocker that time. Stevens trying to keep Fay close at second base. One down. We're in the second inning. No score. The pitch. Curveball. Strike three call. Late call by the umpire. Didn't see him make the gesture. He kind of did in front of himself. And so Stewart's out on strikes, and Evan Hiley will stand in. I'd like to see the umpires make that call. That's easy to determine for not only us broadcasters, but for those on the field. A swing and a miss. Especially on a call-out like that. They do a little motion in front of their body right behind the catcher. You can't really see it. Hiley, the left fielder, with two down, runner second, swings and misses. Fastball by Crocker. He blew it right by him. He was looking for something off speed right there and was very late in his swing. Doyle's on deck. Runner at second, that's Nathan Fay. The pitch, swing, and a foul tip off the shin guards of Sanders and the umpire. Back to the screen. Oh, to the count. 2 down. Salem in their third inning will have Stevens, and then the top of the order, Richter and Moody. Man, second base, 2 down the pitch. Curveball, strike 3 call. Again, an outstanding curveball right on the edge by Bronson Crocker. His 4th strikeout, and he struck out the side in that second inning. No runs, an infield single, no errors, and 1 left. We have now played a full 2 innings, and there is no score between Salem and Cuba. Back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Spring is in the air. It's time to organize your finances, and at the Bank of Salem, we are here to help. From checking and savings accounts, certificate of deposits, IRAs, loans, and even safe deposit boxes, we've got you covered. Come in and let one of our friendly employees help you get organized. The Bank of Salem, neighbors serving neighbors since 1883. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Come check out these May savings at Napa Auto Parts Store in Salem. You'll find Napa Premium Performance Conventional Motor Oil $17.99 for the 5-quart size. And get $10 off Night Vision Xenon bulbs in a 2-pack. And Chevron Techron Fuel Cleaner Additive $5.49 for the 12-ounce size. Stop by Napa Auto Parts Store at 604 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem today.
Well, we're still waiting on the catcher to get his gear back on as Nathan Fay was out on the bases as the inning came to an end, and Coach Baus did not elect to have him pinch run for, so it'll take a while for him to get his gear on. While we do have this time, I want to thank all of our sponsors making it possible for us to bring you Tiger sports and events on our KSMO media streams, and of course, we do thank them. It's J&D Automotive and Hometown Mechanical, and also the Line by Design Healthcare and your Dent County Vet Clinic. Don't forget, Zane and the guys down there at Ozark Overhead Door. They do a great job doing our scorebug, by the way. We appreciate all those great sponsors and the many others that made it possible for us to bring you all year long, from football to volleyball to basketball, softball, baseball, parades, choirs, goodness gracious, all those events, courtesy of all these great people making it possible, our sponsors. Roy Stevens takes a fastball inside. He's the 9th batter in the order. He'll be followed by Trey Richter and then Caden Moody. Pitch from Joel Sanders, swing and a miss. Good fastball, good cut. Stevens coming in, a right-handed batter, swings and misses again, quickly 1-2. We had some good games early in the year, but has struggled as of late. Average down to 170. Trying to get a hit here. He takes a fastball on the outside edge. He's down on strikes. Strikeout number 5 for Joel Sanders. Both these pitchers seem to be on their game today. This is Districts. Richter flew out to right to start the game, a play that you missed on KSMO because we didn't have an opportunity to get it to you on time. Curveball by Sanders, back doors Trey Richter, left-handed batter. Put that ball on the outside edge, came back onto the plate. Pitch comes home. There's a swing and a miss. Trey going for that down and in pitch. He hit it right down the right field line. And the right fielder, Ryan Doyle, came over, made the catch. Quickly 0-2. They give him left center as the pitch comes in from Sanders. And he grounds this one right down the first base line, taken there by Gibson. He steps on the bag. 3 unassisted, and Caden Moody will stand in. Caden struck out his first time. Right-handed batter right on top of that plate as the pitch from Joel Sanders arrives. Curveball, swing and a miss. I think a late read by Caden on that one. He was a little bit behind it. He adjusted, but then missed it. Got Cardinal baseball coming up on the radio side at 2:15 today against Boston. Another curveball, another swing and a miss. How about those Cardinals last night? Down in ninth inning against Kenley Jansen. Score 3 runs, win it 8-6. The 0-2 comes home outside in the dirt. Just scooped there by Fay. 2 down, nothing shaking right now for the Tigers. Joel Sanders stretches out a little bit. He's ready to sign, and here's the pitch. In the dirt back to the padding they have on the bottom of their screen holder, I would say. I believe that's all metal on the bottom of that. They have that surrounded by a nice, about 3-inch thick pad. The pitch, there's a line drive, one hop to the shortstop. Off of him, it's going to end up being an error. Ball hit right at Hendricks. Short hopped him, kind of caught him around the waist and then bounded off. It might have hit him in the thigh. He definitely is shaking that one off, but it's going to be an E6. Ball's hit right at him. And Hendricks did the right thing getting in front of the ball, but then the ball bounces, and on this AstroTurf it keeps rolling. Caden DuBois stands in the pitch a little bit high. So Moody on first base, 2 down. No score in this game between Salem and Cuba. First game of Class 4, District 4 play. Another game will follow this one. As pitch comes in, swing and a miss. It'll be Owensville. They will be taking on, I have to think a minute here. St. Clair. That's who they're playing, St. Clair. St. Clair, the 3rd seed. Pitch comes home, runner going outside, throw to second, nowhere near in time. Moody overslid the bag on this artificial surface because they used a little rubber pellets to give it that sliding texture, otherwise you get burns. He's down at second base in scoring position. 2-1 count to DuBois. Sanders brings it. There's a little pop foul back and out of play off the fist. Sanders brought that inside on Caden. Caden in game earlier here in Owensville doubled in the right center, showing his power the other way. Put the ball one hop away from the fence, so he can do it. Pitch comes home. Swing and a miss on one, up and in. DuBois down on strikes. 6 strikeout for Sanders, and nothing shaken for the Salem Tigers. No runs, no hits, an error, and 1 man left. We have now played 2.5. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's Salem Tigers nothing, the Cuba Wildcats nothing. We'll come back in 1 minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
This is Mike Elliott from Town & Country Insurance. As an independent agent, we shop many different companies, allowing us to find the best value for our clients. Town & Country Insurance has been serving South Central Missouri since 1963. We have offices in Salem, Rolla, Licking, and Mountain Grove, and would welcome an opportunity to show you what we can do for you. Stop by 400 West Scenic Rivers Boulevard, located inside the Town & Country Bank, or you can call our office at 729-6624.
There's a lot to do at the newly renovated Salem City Park. Headlining the activities is the totally rejuvenated Alice Lou Craig Municipal Pool that offers visitors and residents of all ages a full day of fun. The park also includes a brand new splash pad adjacent to Billy's Playground, Salem's new all-accessible playground where children with different abilities can play together. The park has numerous ball fields as well as pavilions that are available to rent for private outings. For more information about the Salem City Park, visit the Salem Park and Recreation Facebook page online.
To the bottom of the 3rd we go. Bronson Crocker back to the hill. He has pitched well. So has Joel Sanders. Sanders has 6 strikeouts in the game as he got DuBois to get a 6th. And right now, Bronson Crocker with 4. It'll be Doyle in the top of the order, Levi Gibson, and then Brock Hendricks. Ryan Doyle, left-handed batter for the Cuba Wildcats. They give him right center field as the pitch comes in, outside corner for a strike. on a drifting fastball by Bronson Crocker. Tigers straightaway in the infield. As I mentioned, they give him right center in the outfield. The pitch comes in, a high fastball. Bronson can turn that ball over. 2-seamers, 4-seamers. You hear about that all the time. And the next one comes in, a swing and a miss on one down and in. Doyle in the hole 1-2. Ball kind of came back and caught Hayden. He's feeling it right now. Umpire asked if he's okay. Put his head down to clean off the plate. Giving him a second or two to recover from that ball that came up and caught him on the inside of the thigh. Doyle back in. Sanders the sign. And the pitch from Crocker comes home. Fouled off the fist. Over toward the Cuba dugout. We're in the third inning. 1 hit for Salem, 2 hits for Cuba. That's it. The pitch, curveball hit him. It hit Doyle in the foot as Crocker came in with a ball that hit Doyle. So he had him down 1-2, and I'm sure that's not where Bronson wanted to throw that curveball. So Doyle, who will take first base, will be there for Levi Gibson. Gibson grounded back up the middle that Crocker knocked down, picked up, and threw him out back in the first inning to lead the game off, and that fastball's high. Gibson's got some pop in his bat. Right-handed batter, slightly open stance. Doyle short lead. Not going, a high pop fly. I think that's going to go back and out of play, and it will. Back over the Cuba dugout. Off-speed pitch. Gibson got out in front. Round ball, round bat. That ball can go anywhere. Short lead by Doyle, now a little bit bigger. Pitch comes home, curveball, just inside and low. Crocker took a little extra off that one. It did not make it to the strike zone. 2-1, nobody down. We're in the third inning, no score. Cuba and Salem, district play. Pitch, curveball, and the dirt gets away, and down goes Doyle to second base. The throw down there is not in time, and ends up going behind the bag, backed up there by Stevens. So wild pitch allows a run to go to second with nobody out. 3-1 to count on Levi Gibson. Right-handed batter waits. Brock Hendricks is on deck. Hamilton in, even with a bag at first base. The pitch, fastball for strike call on the outside edge. Umpire did not make a signal. Looked good to me. I didn't call it a strike anyway, but my call doesn't count. And the 3-2 pitch comes home and a high fly ball down the left field line, but foul. That ball had extra bases written all over it if it stayed fair. Maybe even getting out of the ballpark, but it goes down foul into the corner. Bronson left a curveball up to Joel Sanders back in the first inning. He ripped in left center. That ball also left up. And the winds by now has also died down. They were blowing directly in. Doyle at second from the stretch. The pitch, curve, strike 3 call. Gibson took a step toward first base. You never do that. And he is called out on strikes. Brock Hendricks will stand in. That's a borderline call. You don't call it. Let the umpire do it. He did. He called him out. And Brock Hendricks will stand in. Brock swings on an off-speed pitch as he was fooled. Way out in front. Good pitcher. But when they throw that pitch like that and you can't tell what it is, and you wail at it, makes you look kind of bad. The 0-1 comes home. Fastball. There's a high pop fly right side and out of play over the secondary fencing that they have here to protect vehicles. Hendricks waits. The 0-2. from Crocker. It is a foul off to the right side. He almost stepped on the plate to get to that one. Not sure he didn't. The umpire, I don't think, would have seen it. He was following the flight of the ball. He really reached across the plate. Still 0-2. Doyle at second base. No score in this one. A pitch and a high foul off to the right side. Crocker jammed him. But Hendricks stays alive. Hendricks, right-handed batter, deep in the box. The 0-2 from Crocker. Curve, grounder right at Richter. Knocks it down, picks it up, has to play at third base, but he doesn't throw the ball. Trying to underhand it. And the ball escapes. Du Bois at third base. It'll be an error, but Hendricks never got to second base. It's a fielder's choice. Well, we're going to just call it an error. It was bobbled by Richter, and then he tried to flip it to Du Bois. He had the play at third base, but he didn't throw it. He tried to underhand it, and he threw it right into the runner. So Doyle now at third. Hendricks at first, one out, and Joel Sanders, who singled his first time at the plate, to pitch. Fastball strike on the outside edge. Last year, Trey didn't have a play at first either, but he did see the one going to third. But he just did not get behind that ball enough to get it to Du Bois. A curveball, runner going, and stolen base for Hendricks. Ball is in the dirt, and Sanders had to knock it down. Runners in scoring position, second and third, one down. No score in this one. Crocker's going to have to pitch out of this jam. The 1-1 to Sanders. The pitch comes home. Pop foul back and out of play. Fastball up in the zone, and Joel took a good whack at it and fouled it back. So Doyle reached on the hit by pitch, went to second on a wild pitch, went over to third base on the error by Richter. Hendricks reached on that error and then stole the bag. Pitch comes home, curveball and a grounder up the middle to Richter. He'll play at first, throws the ran out at first base as the run scores. Ball was not hit hard. Trey Richter had to charge it. There's no way of getting Doyle at home as Sanders drives in the first run of the game on a 6-3 put out. He gets the RBI. And Hendricks goes to third. 1-0 Cuba. Bouse stands in. Still a runner at third base. And there's a grounder right at Du Bois. He has it. Throw to first base right on the money. And Bouse is out 5-3. But the Cuba Wildcats dent the scoreboard first. One run on no hits. An error. A hit batsman. And one man left. We've now played 3 innings. It's Cuba 1, Salem nothing. We'll come back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
With tax season fast approaching, you might have some questions that you need answered. If so, give the Tax Masters a call. They have over 40 years of experience and can handle all types of accounting services plus certified e-filing. Don't ever let yourself be a slave to the IRS. Come and see Jackie or Beth at Tax Masters, located at 107 West 4th Street here in Salem, or call 729-3001.
What are your plans for the future? Do you need a boost to generate a new plan, or can't afford to go away to college, or your work schedule won't allow you to go? Let Southwest Baptist University, Salem campus be the boost. SBU is committed to flexibility, expertise, and the state-of-the-art technology. We now offer 2 new associate's degrees in teaching and Christian ministries, along with master's degrees in education and business. For more information, please contact admissions counselor Chris Welch to schedule an appointment as a prospective or returning student. You may call 573-729-7071. SBU Salem campus is your higher education with Christian principles.
We go to the top of the 4th inning, 1-0 Wildcats. You know, role models are more important than ever in today's society. You can serve as a role model for others the next time you display good sportsmanship at a high school athletic event. Good sports are winners, and they're also vital to preserving our sports tradition. So the next time you attend a sporting event, remember, be a good sport and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. This message brought to you by KSMO Radio and Missouri State High School Activities Association. First pitch to Owen Hamilton. Line drive right at the shortstop. First pitch, Hendricks takes down the line drive by Owen Hamilton. Ball is a humpback liner, not smoked, but still had a little bit behind it. A nice catch by Hendricks. Got to watch those because sometimes they have so much backspin on them. You try and catch them, and they almost spin out of your glove. Cash Howard stands in with one down. The pitch from Sanders, that's a little bit low. Joel Sanders has pitched well. Has 6 strikeouts in the game. Has just given up 1 hit. Pitch. There's grounder towards short. It's going to be a tough play. The throw is high off the bag, and it's going to be a base hit. Ball in the hole. Howard can scoot. And so by the time that Hendricks got to it in the hole, turned and tried to throw it across, it would have been bang, bang, and off. The throw was offline, so we just give Howard a base hit. Corby Ball stands in. He walked his first time. 1-0 Cuba. Howard is safely to first base. The pitch comes in, a swing and a miss to Ball. Mentioned that Cash been going the other way. There's a prime example of putting that ball between the third baseman and shortstop. Cash a little bigger lead this time as Sanders checks him out, brings it home to Ball. Fastball. Just missed 1-1. That ball was just off the edge. One down. Line drive out by Hamilton. Pitch comes to Ball. There's a foul straight back on a high fastball. 1-2. This is the 4th inning. You play these district games knowing that this is your season. It's a 1-game season. Every game you play in District Hall. You have to win to progress. Ball ready to pitch. Fastball high. 2-2. Hayden Sanders on deck. 1 out, runner at first base. That's Cash Howard. Run came in for Cuba last inning. It's an unearned run. Pitch way outside back to the screen. Howard trying to go to second. He looked back, and he's going to make it. But Cash was watching the ball instead of running, and good throw there by Fay. Made it close. It's a wild pitch. You make up your mind to go to second. You don't look back at the catcher. You just take off. Ball now has an RBI chance. 3-2 the count. Pitch from Sanders. There's a high fly to right field. Going back is Doyle. Makes the catch. Howard tags, goes to third. 2 down. Corby went the other way and flew out, but he did get the runner to third base. And Sanders will stand in. Infield hit, a balk, an error. Can tie this game. Even a wild pitch could tie this game. A lot more pressure with their man at third base than at second. 1-0 Cuba on top. Both pitchers have pitched just great baseball. Joel looks in. Sanders, the sign from Fay, brings it, and it almost hit Hayden, and actually did. It nicked him. Hayden says it didn't. Umpire says it did. So Hayden Sanders will go down to first base. Ball just grazed his jersey. And they'll run for Sanders, I'm thinking. They will, as I believe Barrett's going to come out. And Carson does. Well, first and third for Bronson Crocker, who grounded out to short his first time. 2 down. Sanders brings it. It's on the outside corner for a strike with a good fastball. Howard a short lead at third. From the stretch, Sanders. The pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Crocker pitching for Salem Tigers has a chance to tie the game, maybe give his team the lead. Joel Sanders trying to protect that 1-0 lead. The 0-2 comes home. It hit him. Hit Bronson right in the middle of the back. That's back-to-back hit by pitches. That was a fastball, nothing that Crocker could do, and now Roy Stevens will stand in with the bases loaded and 2 down. I mean, Joel hit him right between the shoulder blades. Bronson kind of showed him that maybe not in between, but a little bit lower than that. Maybe right behind the shoulder. So Crocker will check out. I'll have a runner for Crocker come in, and that's going to be Landon Richter. Assistant coach C.J. Crater comes out to talk to Sanders on the pitching mound. Had Crocker set up 0-2 and then plunked him. Sanders hit by pitch, just grazed the thread on his jersey, but Crocker actually got plunked right behind the left arm. Actually, the left shoulder blade, I guess, might be more appropriate. So the bases are loaded. There's 2 out. Cash Howard's at third, an infield single. At second base, it's Carson Barrett running for Hayden Sanders. At first base, it's Landon Richter running for Crocker. So good speed on the bases. If Stevens can gap one, Tigers might get 3. They play shallow for Stevens. Pitch from Sanders comes home. Swing and a miss. Fastball outside corner. Roy took a good cut, didn't come up with anything. Joel Stevens ready, brings it. Swing and a miss. 2 fastballs, 2 empty swings. Quickly 0-2. Got the big one left. See if Roy can make contact here. Sanders fastball's outside, trying to make him chase. 1-2. Top of the order waits on deck. 1-0 Wildcats. From the stretch, Joel Sanders looks, checks, brings it home. Check swing, he's out. Called out on strikes. And Roy Stevens out on strikes. That's the 7th strikeout for the starter, Joel Sanders. The ball right on the edge, and Roy tried to check his swing. I don't know if he did or not, but anyway, he's called out on strikes, and the Salem Tigers do not score. 1 hit in that inning, but 3 were left on. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left. Salem has left 6, so they trail it 1-0. We'll come back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Terrell Complete Auto Care is a full-service auto repair center in Salem. They offer full-service oil changes as well as $2 discounts on Tuesdays for all ladies, and Wednesday is Senior Citizen Day. Plus, Terrell Complete Auto Care can take care of all your auto and diesel repair needs. They offer free pickup and delivery in town. Call 729-5761. James and Sheena and the staff of Terrell Complete Auto Care are proud to support the Salem Tigers.
Is your back continually giving you pain? Do you constantly have headaches? Do you have numbness or tingling in your arms, hands, legs, or feet? These are symptoms, and they're a warning sign from your body. And if you'd like to know why they're occurring, Dr. Amber Duncan of Duncan Chiropractic can help. Her mission is to find the cause of the problem and correct it. Give Dr. Amber Duncan a call at 729-2321 or stop by 401 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem.
We're ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. It will be Levi Jones, Nathan Fay, and Parker Stewart for Cuba. 1-0 Wildcats. Tigers had their chance with 2 down in the 4th inning. They loaded the bases. Base hit by Cash Howard with 1 down, but then Hayden Sanders and Bronson Crocker each got hit by pitches to load the bases. Roy Stevens did strike out, and the Tigers still off the board. So let's see if Crocker can keep it right here to 1-0 score. As Jones stands in, he struck out his first time up. As I mentioned, both pitchers have pitched very well here today. That pitch hit him. Crocker grazes Jones with a pitch. That's 2 hit batters by Crocker. There's been 2 by Sanders. Ball just grazed the uniform, but it's enough. And Fay will stand in. He singled his first time up. He bunts the ball hard towards Owen. They're going to let it go. No, now Crocker trying to pick it up, gets run over, and he is going to be safe at first base unless they call interference on the runner. And I don't know if Coach Edwards is going to come out or not. Crocker has the right to pick up the ball. The runner has to avoid the fielder, and the umpires are going to talk about this. That could be interference on the runner and make the umpires could make the runner at first base go all the way back. Depends on their call here. It's up to them. They can make that decision. But in all honesty, Crocker reached down to get the ball, and as he's reaching for it, the runner ran him over. And they are going to call interference, and so Fay is out, and the runner will have to go back to first base. That putout will be one unassisted, by the way. But they all calling it interference because Fay attempted no attempt to avoid Crocker. Had he tried to avoid it and still bumped him, it'd be a different story. But he ran right over him and then fell on him. Coach Biles is not happy about this call. It will send his runner back to first base. He's still at third base. He doesn't know he has to go back. Now he's being told to go back. He still doesn't get it. And now Coach Biles didn't understand that either. But that's the rule. If it gets an interference call, you have to put everybody back in their original position. He's not happy about that, but that's actually the rule. And so back to first base will go Levi Jones. He'll be there with 1 out eventually when they get done talking here. I will say Coach Randy Biles is going to get his 2 cents in, but it's not going to do any good. That's the actual rule in the rule book for baseball. So if you do get called for interference, everybody returns to their normal position. The batter is out. The runners will go back to their original position. No advancement is allowed. I don't sound like an official. Maybe I should be an umpire. No. Can't do this job on the field. No, that's the rule. And back to first base goes Levi Jones. Nathan Fay out, 1 unassisted. Coach Edwards going to make sure that Crocker's okay because Fay kind of went down on him pretty good. Kind of like a nice tackle in football, but they're all talking out there on the mound and visiting. You got Fay called out on interference. And so Jones back to first base. They're satisfied that Bronson's okay. The only senior on this team. Sanders will get the catching mask back on as he gets behind home plate. Parker Stewart will stand in. 1 on, 1 out after all that. And the pitch to Stewart. A little bit low. Well, I will say the umpires recognized the play right away. They did talk amongst themselves and determined that Fay did not make any attempt to avoid running over Crocker. The pitch outside and low. 2-0. AstroTurf doesn't give a lot. Bronson got, like I said, kind of like a tackle in football. Went down probably unexpectedly. Didn't expect to get tackled, but he did. Pitch comes home, outside and low. And it's only 3-0. They had 3-0 on the board, but Umpire says it's 4. It's only 3 pitches. Well, Hayden Sanders knows it. I know it too. Umpire says 4, and nothing you can do about that. So here you go, first and second. Still just 1 out for Evan Hiley. So Hiley will stand in with the runners at first and second, 1 out. Hiley struck out his first time. Shows the bunt, takes it outside low. Crocker has not thrown a strike since being felled on by Fay. Hiley waits. Not showing any kind of bunt. That one a little bit low, 2-0. Sanders comes out in front, says something to Crocker. Tigers down 1-0. Bronson going to retie his shoe. Climbs back up on the hill. Two on, 1 out. Pitch to Hiley coming home. Fastball, first strike. Right on the outside edge. Bronson right now a little more deliberate. Jones leading off second base. Stewart at first. The 2-1 comes home. Shows bunt. Strike 2. Could not make contact. Hamilton racing down. Did not need to field it. I think that took the eye level off Evan Hiley, and I think he looked up and saw that. And now it's a 2-2 count. The pitch, curve, strike 3 call. Hiley called out on strikes for the second time. 6 strikeouts now by Crocker. That was a perfect pitch on the outside edge. And Ryan Doyle stands in. He was hit by a pitch, went to second on a wild pitch, got to third on error, and scored the only run of this game on a ground down. 2 down. The pitch, for the high fastball, good pitch, strike on the outside edge. Doyle hitting the foot on a curveball by Crocker back in that third inning. We're in the fourth. 2 on, 2 down the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good fastball on the inside edge. Doyle late on that one. Jones at second. Stewart at first. Crocker brings it home. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. Good fastball. And no contact made by Doyle whatsoever. He was blown away by Bronson Crocker, who comes back after being run over in the inning, but no runs, no hits, an interference for an out, and a hit batsman and a walk, and 2 left. We've now played 4.5. Actually, we have played 4 innings. Here we go to the top of the 5th inning. It's Cuba 1, Salem 0. Back in 1 minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Life is a series of moments. Big moments, small moments, moments you want to bottle up so they can last forever. At Edward Jones, we want to make the most of all of them. Whether you're planning for a trip of a lifetime, retirement, or just need some everyday advice along the way. That's why an Edward Jones financial advisor like me works with you to build strategies for today and tomorrow. Life is for living. Let's partner through all of it. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Leah Nash. Call me or Joe Brand at Edward Jones, 573-729-3831. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Insurance with a local agent? It's called service. Call State Farm agent Cameron Irway in Salem today.
Welcome back to Owensville. 1-0 Cuba Wildcats. We've played 4. Salem Tigers will start out at the top of the order here. Trey Richter will stand in. He's flown out to right, grounded out to first. One unearned run is the difference in this game. Back in the third inning by Cuba. Tigers have had some chances, just not able to get that key hit, especially a 2-out. That's been an issue all year long, and has popped its ugly head up here today. Fastball outside, ball one to Trey Richter, Caden Moody, and Caden DuBois will follow in as Joel Sanders, who's pitched well, goes back out there and a smash to the right side, right at the second baseman and through his legs. Richter will reach on the error by Duarte. Ball was hit hard, E4. Duarte played down, as I mentioned. This AstroTurf, you get a ball spinning at all, it can pick up a little bit of speed as it gets to you. That may have happened to Duarte, but still, he was in good fielding position. Should have knocked the ball down. At least would have had time to get Richter, but the ball went through his legs into the outfield. E4. Caden Moody stands in, shows bunt, puts it down on the first base line. He might be that out, and no, he's just out. A good sacrifice. Sanders came over to get it and got him by about a half a step. The sacrifice bunt goes 1-3, getting Richter down to second base. He's there for Caden DuBois and Owen Hamilton. That's the tying run for the Tigers. DuBois has struck out twice, both times on high fastballs. They give Caden left center's a pinch. There's a high fly ball on the left field line. That ball has a chance to go. That ball's going to fall down right about the face of the fence. This game is tied as DuBois pulls in at second base. Got a little bit more on the end of the bat than I thought originally, so it dropped about 10, 12 feet from the fence. But it took one hop or two and then short out the fence down a 300-foot line, and DuBois double ties the game. When I first left the bat, I realized he got a good swing on it. He got out in front on the off-speed pitch and left the bat in a good position, but it was near the end of the bat, and it kind of died. But we are tied 1-1, and Owen Hamilton will try and put the Tigers on top. Sanders brings it. There's a ground ball right at third. He makes the play, does the third baseman Jones, but throws the ball away. DuBois thinking about trying to come home, does not. And Hamilton reaches on the error and goes down to second on the bad throw. A good job made there by third baseman Jones, but then he threw the ball away. DuBois pulls up at third, Hamilton down to second. So here's Cash Howard, runners at second and third, only one out. DuBois thought about coming home, but didn't. Ground ball base hit left field. Salem's up 2-1 on the single by Howard, going the other way as he has really done so well here in this second half. 2-1 Salem. Hamilton still at third base on a clean RBI single by Howard. He got that fastball in the outside corner. Easily put that between Hendricks and the third baseman Jones. Hamilton stopped at third base. First and third, one out for Corby Ball. He shows bunt. Puts it bunt. It's a squeeze bunt. Hamilton scores as the play is done at first base. Perfect squeeze bunt by Corby Ball as Hamilton broke down the line. Sacrifice goes 1-3, but it's an RBI for Corby. And Hamilton comes in to score. It's 3-1 Salem Tigers. It all started with an error. And now Hayden Sanders stands in. 3 runs in this fifth inning. Hayden's been hit and singled, 1 for 1. And they're going to pass Sanders, an unintentional walk. So excellent sacrifice by Caden Moody down the first base line. Moved Richter over after the error. And now Crocker is going to be pinch hit for, I believe, here. and then he'll probably re-enter the game. The Tigers have scored 3 times. Richter reached on the air by Duarte. Moody bunted him over. Du Bois doubled on the left field line, fair by about 3 feet. Then Hamilton grounded to third. The throw by the third baseman, Jones, skipped past the first baseman, and that allowed Du Bois to go to third, and Hamilton to race all the way to second. Howard singled in Du Bois to make it 2-1, and then on a suicide squeeze, Corby Ball got the ball down. That was impressive. 3-1 Tigers. Ball way outside to Landon Richter, who's batting. We're in the 5th inning. The pitch, high. Good fastball, but outside and high. Richter has only batted 3 times, and he's got 1 hit. The pitch, there's a line drive, and it's going to be caught by the second baseman off the fist of Richter as Duarte came in and fielded it, but the Tigers score 3 times. They do so on 2 hits, 2 huge errors, and there were 2 men left. We have now played 4.5. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Salem Tigers 3 and Cuba 1. Back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Have you had a fender bender or crashed your vehicle? Come and see Jadwin and Smith Auto Body and Auto Care for all of your auto body needs. They have over 20 years of experience of putting vehicles back in mint condition. Take your vehicle to Jadwin and Smith Auto Body and Auto Care at 1202 West Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem across from Walmart, or call 729-3900. Locally owned by Tim and Wendy Smith.
Every project is different, which is why Salem Trust wants you to know they'll work directly with anyone. You don't need a contractor to use their services. Salem Trust can then use their modern engineering software to design and construct the quality trusses specific for your home, barn, or business. The size of the job doesn't matter, but the quality of their work does. Plus, Salem Trust is locally owned and operated. Open Monday through Friday. Call Salem Trust at 729-9276 for more information.
Well, Salem Tigers look like they're going to be making a pitching change. As Caden Du Bois is going to take over on the hill for Crocker. Crocker did not look right after being felled by Nathan Fay. He got through the inning, but he just was a little bit tenuous on the hill. He got through the inning. Got out of it. He went 4 innings in this one. Gave up just 2 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. He did hit 2 guys, and he did walk 1. He struck out 7. So Du Bois comes on. 3-1, Salem Tigers have the lead. He's in to protect this lead, and Landon Richter will go in and play third base. So he is now playing position number 5. Caden Du Bois here in the bottom of the 5th goes to the mound. And Richter batted in the place of Crocker, so it's a pretty easy substitution. So here in the 5th, it will be the top of the order for Cuba. Gibson, Hendricks, and Sanders. Boy, those errors come back to hurt you. We've seen it happen all season long. It's happened to Salem Tigers. It happens virtually in every game you watch. When you make the errors, they just seem to come back and haunt you. But what a great suicide squeeze by Corby Ball. That's the first one I can remember this year for the Salem Tigers in games we have covered, and that was absolutely a perfect bunt. You could not ask for more. First pitch from Du Bois is lined down the right field line. That ball's going to be foul. And the object with suicide squeeze bunt is just to put the ball in play. and on the ground. That's the only kicker. Owen had come down from third base. He was in motion. And once the bunt was made, he scored easily without a play. And Sanders, realizing that, just went to first to get the out. Pitch comes home, a check swing, but he went around, did Gibson. And don't forget Cash Howard's opposite field base hit, too. There's a high fly ball on the infield. Du Bois calls for it. Makes the catch. Straight up the chute by Gibson. And Brock Hendricks will stand in. He got underneath that one and hit it straight up in the air. Right between the pitching mound and the catcher, Hayden Sanders. Richter came in, or Landon Richter, I should say, came in and started calling it, but Caden waved him off. Hendricks stands in. That fastball's high. Hendricks 0 for 2, reaching on a fielder's choice. Pitch comes home outside and low. He grounded one to short that Trey Richter knocked down and tried to flip over to Caden Du Bois at third base, but threw it into the runner. Ball eluded Du Bois on a high pop foul right side. That's going to drift out of play. That allowed the Cuba runner to get in place to score on the fielder's choice. Ground out by Joel Sanders. Pitch comes home. Fastball is just a little bit high. It's a pretty good pitch. Joel Sanders waits on deck. 3-1 Salem Tigers. 3 in the top of the 5th inning. All 3 runs unearned. The pitch, swing and a miss. The ball goes back. Let me get a piece of it. I assume he foul tipped it. The umpire showed no foul tip sign. Ball went back to the screen beyond Sanders. The ball's outside in the dirt. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip there. Again, the umpire not showing any foul tip sign. You're supposed to raise your arms in the air. Play is dead on a foul tip. And they have not done that. 3-2 pitch comes home. Swing and a miss. That time on a high fastball. Hendricks down on strikes. First strikeout for Du Bois. And Sanders will stand in. Joel singled. Grounded out, driving in the only run for Cuba. 3-1 Tigers. Winner of this game will play Sullivan right back here at Owensville on Monday. Ground ball off the end of the bat toward the Salem Tiger dugout. Got out in front. That game will start at 4 o'clock Monday afternoon. Great afternoon for baseball. Hope you're enjoying it as well. We got cards coming up on KSMO in just a little while. We invite you to stick around for that one as well on this baseball doubleheader, high school pro. 1-1 to count. The pitch, swing, and a foul tip, and it hit the umpire right in the back shoulder. Man, that's right on the collarbone. He is stunned. He staggered backwards. That ball caught him right at where the pad is and the shoulder blade. I guarantee you that's going to leave a mark. Ouch. As that ball was foul tipped, came right back. And that's right where the strap comes around off the shoulder. And it's just a little small piece of material that comes up there by the neck. That's right where it hit him, right there on that bone on your shoulder. And he's probably not going to be doing pull-ups tonight. Ouch. Hayden smiling at him. You okay? He's talking to the umpire. Sanders back in. 2 down, 1-2 to count. The pitch comes home. Curveball. Strike 3 call. Delay call by the umpire. I'm probably going to do even more delays after that. But Sanders called out on strike. Second strikeout for Du Bois. And down in order go the Wildcats in the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. To the top of the 6th inning we go. Salem Tigers 3, Cuba 1 back in 1 minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Cuddy's Well Service and Plumbing, LLC in Salem provides well pump repairs to existing wells and pump installations in new wells. In addition, they can handle all of your plumbing needs. They can also provide backhoe and dump truck services. Need creek rock or white rock delivered? Give Cuddy's Well Service a call at 729-2787. Cuddy's is a proud supporter of Salem Tiger Athletics and all of the students in Salem and Dent County.
Hi, I'm Doug Barnes from the Town & Country Bank. What does the farm mean to you? Maybe it means a weekend getaway for camping or hunting, or it's the life as a farmer. Maybe you want to build a dream home with a view. No matter what the farm means to you, Town & Country Bank can make it happen with the best rates and terms on land and mortgage loans. Town & Country Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 412144.
We go to the top of the 6th inning. Salem Tigers 3, Cuba 1. Roy Stevens will stand in. He struck out twice in this game. Joel Sanders pitched better than what the score is. And he throws this one in. There's a little fly ball in the left center field. Not well hit, but nice catch made by the center fielder, Patrick Stewart. Ball's off the end of the bat by Stevens. Thought it might have a chance to fall, but then realized that Stewart had a good jump on that one and caught it about knee-high as he raced into left center. Trey Richter will stand in. Trey then reached on an error that started all the mess in that 5th inning for Cuba. Grounds this one right down the line at first base to Gibson, who steps on the bag. It's twice in this game he's done that. Trey getting a little pull happy today. He's flown out to right, grounded out to first base, reached on error by the second baseman, and then also grounded out to first base just moments ago. 0 for 4 in this game. Moody stands in, and he grounds one to short. Quick inning. Throw across is in time as Brock Hendricks had no problem with that true hop. So, 4 pitches in that inning for Stevens. Down in order go the Salem Tigers. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-1 Salem. Back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Your legacy. Protect it, prosper, and pass it on. Stephen Patterson, attorney at law, specializes in real estate, estate planning, probate, family law, and business law. A Salem native, Stephen Patterson provides comprehensive representation to clients throughout southern Missouri. If you need assistance, contact Stephen Patterson, attorney at law, at 573-453-2529.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
It's Clean Car Month at K&H Auto Supply in Salem, when you'll find Pro X 1 car wash, 2 for $15. Superior Coverall Tire Shine, 2 for $18. And Rain-X 2-in-1 Glass Cleaner for $7.49. K&H Auto Supply, your Park City Auto Parts store right here in Salem.
Park City. Yeah, Park City. Park City.
Caden DuBois back to the hill. Bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Bausch, Jones, and Fay for Cuba. They trail it by 2. A couple of huge plays in that 3-run 5th inning for the Salem Tigers. That single by Cash Howard to left field. Just a clean single to give the Tigers the lead. And Corby Ball with a perfect suicide squeeze, driving in the 3rd run, a very key run here. Bow stands in, the pitch from DuBois, foul off the fist. Bowes has grounded out to second, grounded out to third. It's the kind of hitter you don't want to let him get his arms extended. He has got some pop when he can do that. The pitch comes home, curveball up and in. Afternoon is absolutely ideal. Hope you're enjoying it. Here in Owensville it is. Pitch comes in. Just late call by the umpire, a strike on the outside edge. Pitch was right there on the black. You didn't give it to him at first. Next one from DuBois is high, 2-2. Sullivan, the number 1 seed. St. James, the number 2 seed. They're not playing today. This is kind of the play-in game for the Final Four. The pitch comes home. High pop fly off to the right side. That's going to drift over the secondary netting and out of play. Boys, a right-hander on the hill, relieving Crocker, who went 4 innings. The pitch comes in. Line drive down the line, and Owen Hamilton with a diving catch right on the chalk. What a play by Hamilton. Diving right on the line and takes definitely a base hit from Bouse away and possibly extra bases. Well, Owen got down got a good jump on that line drive and dove headlong, and he made the catch. Heck of a play by Hamilton. A couple of gold stars in the game today. We have to put them on their caps or something. Pitch comes in outside and low. District play. This is what it's all about. You give everything here because there is no tomorrow if you lose. Jones takes that one a little bit high, 3-0. About the same pitch he called a strike moments ago. That's why I hesitated. 3-0 pitch. That's up and in, ball 4. Levi Jones with a 4-pitch walk. He's been hit and walked as well as striking out, and Nathan Fay stands in. This is the guy that ran over Bronson Crocker. He bunted the ball. And as Crocker went to field it, ran him right over. That interference call seemed to affect Cuba after Jones had been nicked by a pitch. Then Stewart walked, but then Crocker finished off with 2 strikeouts and then came out of the game. Pitch, swing and a miss on one up and in. Nice pitch by Du Bois. They got a single his first time on the infield. High chopper over the mound. Runner first base, that's Jones. The pitch, swing and a miss. Another pitch up high. Guys chasing that high fastball. Quickly 0-2 to Fay. They give him room on the right side as Stevens plays a little bit up the middle. And with Hamilton holding man on, there's a lot of room. Runner going, that pitch is high to the second base, and he's out! Heck of a throw by Sanders. Richter got the tag down. And Jones is thrown out. 2-6 on the tag. 2 down here in the 6th inning. Jones got a good jump, but that throw is absolutely perfect by Hayden Sanders. Fay fouls that one right off his fist. Back to the screen. I think it nicked the umpire again. He's getting beat up back there. 1-2 the count, 2 down. In the 7th for Salem will be Du Bois, Hamilton, and Howard. Pitch from Du Bois, a swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Caden Du Bois, and we have played 6. No runs, a walk, a man out stealing, nobody left. 3-1 Salem Tigers. Back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Funded through the Department of Mental Health, Enrichment Services of Dent County offers community integration, personal assistance, and individualized supported living programs that allow individuals with developmental disabilities an opportunity to live and participate in their communities through volunteerism, paying jobs, and in-home support. This is just some of what they do at Enrichment Services of Dent County. Call Director Tanya Newman for more information at 729-7279.
Have you seen Town Screen yet? It's one of the most affordable ways to get your message out in the community. With strategically placed vertical screens in numerous locations in Salem, check it out at the American Legion Post number 99, Looking Glass Salon, Salem Senior Center, and McCoy Vision Clinic, just to name a few. Find out more about how you can use Town Screen for everything local. Stop by 800 South Main or call 636-338-1199. Hometown created and maintained, Town Screen in Salem.
Joel Sanders back to the mound. He's down 3-1, and the Cuba Wildcats 3-run inning by Salem in the fifth. Cuba got one in the third. All the runs scored today have been unearned. Errors have played a part. Heck of a play by Owen Hamilton at first base. On a line drive by Riley Bouse. I mean, that ball was hugging the line. He dove in the air, caught it, and made a heck of a play. Salem 4 hits in the game. Cuba has not had a hit since the second inning. Have had runners, but no hits. Not a lot of hits in this game. Sanders has pitched well. Crocker pitched well. Du Bois has pitched well. The pitch, they're swinging a miss by Caden Du Bois, who's at the plate. Strike one. Du Bois has a key RBI double to tie this game back in the fifth. Got out in front, lofted one down the left field line fairly deep. That ball behind him, making him skip the rope. Tied the game, and then Hamilton reached on an error that put Du Bois at third base, and then he scored on a Cash Howard single. One and one the count. Du Bois gets back in. Sanders, the sign from Fay, brings it home. That fastball just missed. Two and one. Next one to Caden inside. 3-1. Right-handed batter, Caden Du Bois back in. He waits. The pitch, and there's a line drive off the pitch right to the shortstop. And Hendricks had to wait for that one to come down. He finally did. It was a humpback liner as Du Bois was jammed. And a good job by Hendricks to track it all the way to the glove. That's the kind that you can get fooled on, jump too soon, and end up having one hit you right in the chest. Hamilton stands in. The pitch to him. Just missed on the outside corner, a little bit low. Hamilton, 0 for 3, reached an error. Pitches inside, 2-0. Straight away for Owen. Big right-handed batter waits. Takes a fastball for a strike. We're in the seventh inning. Salem has a 2-run lead in the bottom of the seventh. It'll be the bottom three in the order for Cuba. Pitch comes home. Strike on the outside corner. Quickly 2-2. Sanders still has good stuff here in the seventh inning. Good fastball right there. Had some pop to it. And the pitch. Almost hit Hamilton on a fastball inside. Owen had to back up quickly. Right-handed batter will get back in that batter's box. Artificial turf here at Owensville. On the infield, outfield is regular grass. And the pitch. Inside low. Owen takes a walk. 1-out walk. Puts runner at first base for Cash Howard. Is 2 for 3 today. 2 hit by pitches. That's the third walk in the game. Howard singled, an infield single to short, then singled through the hole. Fastball high. Early in the year was pulling a lot of everything. Coach Edwards worked with him, got him to just level that swing out and go the other way, and he has really done well. Late swing on that one, though. Comes up empty. 1-1. Has better bat coverage, plate coverage with his swing now. Keeps that bat through the plane. That pitch up and in. 2-1. Hamilton at first. 2-1 count. Seventh inning. Sanders brings it inside all the way back to the screen, and Hamilton will go down to second base. And he will be there. Did he overrun the bag? And they say safe. Hamilton overslid the bag, but was able to reach back and grab it. That's on a wild pitch. Thing about this artificial turf, you start sliding, you're just going to keep going. You better grab that bag. That's why you always really want to do it with your foot first so you hit the bag and pop up. 3-1 to Cash Howard is a strike on the inside edge. A high off-speed pitch. Another runner out there in scoring position for Cash Howard. See if he can cash in the pitch and a foul off to the left side. No pun intended. Oh, maybe a slight pun intended. Three and two count to Howard. He waits. The pitch. Grounder up the middle. Flagged there by Sanders. Throws to first to get the out. Hamilton to third base. And this time he did come off the bag, and he's out. Cash Howard grounded back to the pitcher, and it turns into a double play. 1-3-5 as Owen Hamilton went to third. Surprised the pitcher Sanders didn't chase him back at second. When Owen went into third, again, he overslid that bag, tried to reach back, got called out, and that ends the inning. No runs, no hits, a walk, a double play, and nobody left. To the bottom of the seventh inning we go. The Salem Tigers lead this one 3-1. Back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
What's the fastest way for you to get yourself up to date on the latest in news, sports, weather, and obituaries that costs you absolutely nothing? It's Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County now for over 20 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that will take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 30-plus locations in Salem and in Bunker. Your World Today. Pick one up every weekday. They're free.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tiffany Bland. I'm the new MD at SMDH Family Medicine. I will be providing family medical services for all ages. I'm now accepting new patients, so please call 729-8000 to make an appointment today. SMDH Family Medicine is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and all private and other insurance. Salem Memorial District Hospital, every patient, every encounter, every time.
Remember, the winner of this game plays Sullivan Monday at 4 o'clock here back at Owensville. Right now, Salem with a 3-1 lead. Parker Stewart to stand in. He plays center field. He has walked and struck out facing Crocker. He's now facing Du Bois. First pitch, low and outside. Ball one. 1 run in the third inning for Cuba. 3 runs in the fifth inning for Salem. The pitch, grounder towards third. That's going to be a tough play. Landon Richter gets it to throw to first base. It's offline. And that'll be an infield single for Stewart. That's going to be almost impossible on that infield chopper. Almost better to try and let it go and hope and pray it goes out foul, but did not. That's the first hit for Cuba since the second inning. And we have a pinch hitter. Nick Smith will stand in. And he takes one outside. So Smith, a left-hander, batting for Evan Hiley, who struck out twice. Runner first base, nobody out. Pitch, swing and a miss. 1-1 to count. Richter plays in at third. Big hole in that left side with Trey kind of playing up the middle. Left-handed batter. Straight away pretty much in the outfield. They do give him right center. Swing and a miss on that one. As Nick Smith reaches for that one. Doyle would be on deck. The pitch, there's a swing and a miss. Strike him out. Good high fastball by Caden Du Bois. His 4th strikeout, and Doyle stand in. Ryan, as been hit by a pitch and scored the only Cuba run and struck out. Hamilton holds on the runner at first base. That's Stewart. Pitch outside of Doyle. He gets right back in. Left-handed batter, open stance. DuBois steps off. Now gets back on the rubber. From the stretch, brings it home. That's a fastball, a little bit high. 2-0. It's a good fastball just above the letters. Ryan Doyle waiting way outside and high. Looks like the ball slipped out of DuBois' hands, and it's 3-0. We're in the bottom of the seventh inning. Cuba needs 2 to tie, 3 to win. Doyle waits that pitch. Outside, ball 4. Infield single, a walk, a strikeout in between. And the top of the order comes up with Levi Gibson. Levi's grounded out, popped out, struck out. Coach Edwards coming out to talk to DuBois. This is in his third inning of work. They're going to have a pinch runner for Doyle. Coming in will be number 8, Phoenix Schlimmer. I'm sorry about that, Phoenix Shermer. I had a little typo there. I had to look in the book there. Shermer is his name. He'll run at first base. Stewart will be down at second. Coach Edwards talking to his entire infield out on the hill. So DuBois, who had set down virtually 6 in a row, the walk to Levi Jones, but he was thrown out stealing. Gives up an infield single to Stewart. Not much you can do about that. Struck out Nick Smith pinch hitting, but then Ryan Doyle reached on a walk. So Levi Gibson stands in. Tying run at first. Winning run at the plate. Pitch from DuBois. Low and outside. Came back with a fastball. Missed that down and low. Next one comes right back, and that one's high, ball 2. You don't want to put the tying run at second base. Gibson's not bunting. DuBois ready again. That one's low, 3-0. And Caden suddenly got in a big hurry. Try and get this one over. Slow it down, Caden. The 3-0 pitch coming to Gibson. That's a strike on the inside corner, 3-1. Landon Richter, even with the bag at third. Trey playing deep. They give a lot of room on a second base as Stevens trying to keep the runner close. That's a walk with a high fastball. And now Hendricks will stand in with a tying run at second, the winning run at first. And Hendricks, with 1 out, will stand at the plate. Hendricks has struck out twice. He also has reached on a fielder's choice. Infield again gets together, this time without Coach Tony Edwards, to talk about this situation. Runner at third means nothing. That run can score. It's that runner at second you don't want to have score. And Hendricks stands in. He grounded into a fielder's choice that ended up helping score the Cuba run. Now time is called. Hendricks wants to wipe the sweat out of his eyes. The shortstop gets back in. Tigers straight away. Hamilton a little bit in front of the bag. And a ground off the middle. To DuBois. To home. Out. To first base. Out. It's a double play. Hendricks grounds into a double play. 1, 2, 3. And the Salem Tigers defeat the Cuba Wildcats and will go on to play Monday in the district semifinal by a score of 3-1. Falls a one-hopper back to DuBois, who got it and took his time, threw to Sanders, who took his time, and threw down to Hamilton for the putout. Excellent game. Tigers win it 3-1. We'll come back in 3 minutes. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events. Make sure you have the right policy for each of life's wins.
A life event could qualify you for a discount. Call me, Willie Strader, your Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance agent, and we will make sure you have the coverage you need.
Don't have any time to fix anything to eat, and you're looking for something to munch on? Well, at Country Mart in Salem, you'll find Glenn's Smokehouse mouth-watering pork steaks, baby back ribs, pulled pork, and so much more. Plus, in a deli, you'll find breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, and your favorite deli meats and cheeses. Country Mart also has a bakery for your pies, cakes, and decorated cakes, donuts, and breads. So stop by Country Mart on Highway 3272 East in Salem today. They're here to help you save.
Did you know that hand washing was the single most effective way to stay healthy? This is Deborah Hobson, Director of Infection Prevention, Employee Health and Education. Many diseases and conditions are spread by not washing hands with soap and clean running water. Germs can get into the body through the eyes, nose, and mouth. If you have any questions regarding proper hand washing techniques or infection prevention, give me a call at 729-6626 Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
At the Bank of Salem, keeping your account safe and secure is our highest priority. We're adding text fraud alerts as part of our debit card protection program. If Shazam, our debit card processor, suspects fraudulent activity on your debit card, you may be alerted via text message or phone call. Ask a Bank of Salem employee today. Remember, we will never request card or account information via text, phone, or email. The Bank of Salem, putting our customers first since 1883. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
May savings are going on right now at Napa Auto Parts Store in Salem, where you'll find a Chemical Guys complete car wash and detailing shine kit for $49.99. Napa Green 50/50 pre-diluted antifreeze and coolant $9.99 for the 1 gallon size, and Napa Premium Performance Gear Oil only $5.69 for the quart size. Stop by Napa Auto Parts Store at 604 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem today.
Have you seen Town Screen yet? It's one of the most affordable ways to get your message out in the community. With strategically placed vertical screens in numerous locations in Salem, check it out at Advanced Chiropractic, Jet Tires and Auto, Salem Bowling Center, and Terrell's Complete Auto Care, just to name a few. Find out more about how you can use Town Screen for everything local. Stop by 800 South Main or call 636-338-1199. Hometown created and maintained. Town Screen in Salem.
Salem Tigers win this one 3-1, and they will be back here to face Sullivan on Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock. And we'll be back right there with them right here on KSMO Media. However, I'll tell you a little bit about this game before we go into that game. What a game. Outstanding pitching effort by both the Tigers and the Cuba Wildcats as Joel Sanders went 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them unearned, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 2 hit batsmen. Outstanding effort by Joel. Can't take anything away from the pitching today. For the Salem Tigers, Bronson Crocker went 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. He hit 2 guys as well. Caden Du Bois gets to save 3 innings of actually he gets to win, on that. 1 hit, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and got a key double play to end the game. Also in this game, we saw an interference out called. Yeah, you don't see all that all the time. Anyway, nonetheless, Tigers win it 3-1 in this one. We haven't had a suicide squeeze bunt in this one. It was an incredible game. Salem Tigers do win it. They come into district play and take on the Sullivan Eagles, who are the number 1 seed. That'll be Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock. In this game, for the Salem Tigers, Cash Howard 2 for 4 with an RBI, 1 for 4 Caden Du Bois, an RBI run scored. And 1 for 1, Hayden Sanders in the game, got a base hit. They walked him intentionally, got hit also by a pitch. And really, that's about the offense for the Salem Tigers. A couple of walks in there as well, but all in 1 inning is when all the damage happened. We'll go ahead and tell you for Cuba, Nathan Fay had 1 for 3, Parker Stewart 1 for 3, and Joel Sanders 1 for 3. They had just 3 hits. Those were those 3. And a good job again by both pitchers, all 3 pitchers in this game. It was a well-pitched game. Unfortunately, the errors hurt, and we'll tell you about those right now. In the 3rd inning, the Cuba Wildcats got on top. A leadoff hit by pitch to Ryan Doyle, and he got hit on the foot on a curveball. After Gibson struck out, Brock Hendricks hit a ground ball to shortstop. Now, in between the strikeout of the hit by pitch and the strikeout of Gibson, Doyle did go down to second base on a wild pitch. So he was there. Ground ball went to Trey Richter. Trey Richter bobbled the ball, but then he had time to get the man at third base. He tried to shovel the ball over to Caden DuBois, but the ball and the runner were all together. He didn't get that where Caden could catch the ball and tag the runner, and the ball got mixed up, went to the fence, and Doyle was safe at third base, so it made a first and third. Then a stolen base for Brock Hendricks made it second and third, and Joel Sanders hit a ground ball to Richter. He threw out the man, allowed the run to score. Didn't have a chance, really, to throw the guy out at home plate. The ball's up the middle, and so the RBI by Sanders made it 1-0. It stayed that way until the 5th inning. And then we talk about errors being a big part of that. Trey Richter hit a ground ball to second baseman Isaac Duarte. Isaac, who's been very good, had that ball go off his glove between his legs and into short right field. And be able to knock that ball down, he would have had time to throw out Richter. In this case, Richter reaches on the air. Caden Moody had a sacrifice bunt to make it a man second, 1 out. And then Caden DuBois came up and hit a high fly ball on the left field line. Looked like right off the bat that he really gotten all of it, but he hadn't, but it still was going to be a fair ball. And this one fell about, maybe 10 feet from the fence for an RBI double to tie the game at 1-1. Owen Hamilton came up and hit a ground ball to third base. And third baseman Levi Jones fielded it, looked back to Boys, and then threw low to first base. The ball eluded the first baseman Gibson, allowing DuBois to go to third. And Hamilton, he went down to second. So it was second and third, and just 1 out. Cash Howard came up. First pitch to him. He hit the ball in between the shortstop and third baseman for a base hit. An RBI single. That's the game-winning hit in this game. That made it 2-1. And then Corby Ball stood at the plate. And the first pitch to him, here came Owen Hamilton, who went to third base on that base hit. Down the line, it was a suicide squeeze, and Corby Ball got that ball right down the first base line. That made it 3-1, and that's the entire scoring in this game. So it was definitely a well-played game here in district play. Salem Tigers come out on top 3-1. They'll take on the Sullivan Eagles, 4 o'clock Monday afternoon, right back here at Owensville. It's the first game of that day. They'll have another game following that with St. James, and then the winner of the game coming up next between St. Clair and Owensville. So Salem will be back here Monday, 4 o'clock, against the Sullivan Eagles. Well, it was a pleasure to bring you this one right here on KSMO Media. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Jim back at the radio station, for Ben on the video controls over here, my name is Stan Stevens. Thank you for joining us on KSMO Media for Salem Tiger Baseball. We'll be back Monday. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday afternoon. Good day from Owensville.
Be listening next time for Salem Tiger Baseball on KSMO. Brought to you by K&H Auto Supply, Town and Country Bank, Salem Memorial Hospital, Salem Memorial Clinic, Farm Bureau Insurance, Country Mart, the Bank of Salem, Napa Mooney Auto Supply, Your World Today, Progressive Ozark Bank, Town Screen LLC, City of Salem, Town and Country Insurance, Tax Masters, Southwest Baptist University Salem Campus, Terrell Complete Auto Care, Edward Jones, Duncan Family Chiropractic, Jadwin and Smith Auto Body, State Farm Insurance, Stephen Patterson, Attorney at Law, Salem Trust, Cuddy's Well Service and Plumbing LLC, Enrichment Services, Dent County Vet Clinic, Aligned by Design Chiropractic, and Hometown Mechanical.